Aesthetically pleasing vibe. This is a huge problem when it comes to being a minimalist or in the minimalist community. When you look on YouTube or you look on Pinterest, all you see most of the time is perfect minimalist vibes. You see a desk, you see everything matching, everything's coherent, and it makes you feel like, okay, so that's what my house needs to look like in order for me to be a minimalist. And it's not true. I dealt with this as well, where I wanted my place to look perfect. I wanted it to look like a Pinterest ad, and I wanted everything to match, and it was just like so much more stressful for me trying to be like everybody else in the minimalist community, rather than me sitting down with myself and realizing, listen, Kira, you are adapting a minimalist lifestyle because you want to realize what is not worth having and what is worth having. And I finally did learn that, obviously, but when I had my first apartment, I was still wondering on like, what theme should I go with? And I don't beat myself up over it anymore. Back in the day, I used to be at work on break thinking like, if I get rid of half of my wardrobe, I can do like just white tops and like neutral bottoms with a nice pair of flats. That will be nice because it'll match the walls, then it'll match my curtains, and everything will be perfect, and it'll be like a nice aesthetic vibe. Then I could take good Instagram pictures, and it's like, no. Life shouldn't be portrayed on a certain color for, like, when it comes to aesthetics. Yes, I do love wearing black, I do love neutral tones, period, but it doesn't mean that my life has to revolve around those colors. So with being a minimalist, a lot of us feel that, all right, since every other minimalist is into neutrals, I guess I'm gonna hop on that wagon. If you like red and blue and purple and you want to be a minimalist, sure, go ahead, it doesn't matter. I feel like a lot of people think that having a minimalist vibe in your house, you need to have an empty museum looking room or bedroom, and it's not ideal. I think as of right now, we should be past that aesthetically pleasing vibe, because it can literally drive someone crazy like myself. As much as I love being a minimalist, I also just love being me at the end of the day. Especially when you live with someone other than yourself, you learn a lot when it comes to the whole aesthetic vibe. I live with my boyfriend, been living with him for a good 2 years now, and our vibes are different. I like neutral tones, but he likes colors. He loves red, he loves blue, he loves green, lime green, to be honest. And in the beginning, it would give me a little anxiety because I'm like, wait, nothing matches. Like, we have to get rid of that glass table and get a tan table so it can match. And then he was the one to be like, why waste money, Kara, when we have a table that works? We don't need to have something for looks. It doesn't have to always be aesthetically pleasing. And that's when it like clicked. I'm like, it really does not. Life doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing. So I think that's probably one of the biggest toxic things when it comes to being a minimalist, is that everyone assumes that you need to have an aesthetic vibe or theme in your house, and most of the time the theme has to be empty and neutral tones. Don't listen to that, you guys. Do what you want. As long as you know what minimalist means, or as long as you know that you want to be a minimalist for the right reasons, go ahead. For me, being a minimalist has taught me so much more than neutral tones and emptiness. It has taught me that there's so much more to life than material objects, and there's so much more to life than just being perfect all the time. Getting rid of things you actually need. I have done this so many freaking times, I can't even count how many times I have done this. I am that type of person, well, I was that type of person, to get rid of things that I needed within a week or a year from now. It kind of like sunk in when I moved in with my boyfriend. I was so excited to start this whole new life. I really thought that me moving in with him, my channel was gonna pick up, and back then, when I had my full-time job as at the nursing home and with doing YouTube, I was making like 4 to 5 grand a month. My plan was for me to, you know, purchase a whole new wardrobe, eco-friendly, and, you know, a lot cuter clothes. So I got rid of everything, literally everything. I kept like the basics of my clothing items, and then a couple months after me living with him in the old studio that we had, my channel flopped. My channel hasn't been the same ever since I quit my main job. So I went from making 4 to 5 grand a month with having 2 jobs to making $900 to around like the most I make is like 1,400 with just YouTube, and that is not enough to purchase a whole new wardrobe or to just do what I wanted to do. And it's not the fact with the money, it's the fact that I got rid of clothes that was fitting me fine. There was nothing wrong with them, I just wanted a whole new like color wardrobe, more of like a perfect wardrobe. And now I kick myself in the butt because I'm like, all right, we're gonna go out to eat tonight. I have nothing to wear. And I got rid of all of the summer dresses that I had, like the fun dresses, the going out dresses. I gave them all to girls that I used to work with. So it's a huge lesson, and it's not just with clothes. I learned this with everything. I gave away my table to somebody that shouldn't even have it. I should have gave that table to someone else. Gave it to someone that didn't even appreciate it. So many things that I gave away that I just should have really sat down and thought more. I should have gave myself a little bit more time instead of me picking up the phone and be like,
you guys want this? You guys want this?
I know there's that whole decluttering high, which I get when I declutter a space, but I definitely needed to pump the brakes on that because, like I said, there are things that I wish I never ever gave away. But that's a huge toxic side that a lot of minimalist people don't talk about, is the excitement of getting rid of things that you might need down the road. So if you guys are decluttering or starting your minimalist lifestyle right now, make sure you ask yourself twice, do I need this now or will I need this in a year from now? If you feel like iffy about that item, put it in a box and just save it. I mean, as a minimalist, I wish I would have done that, because have you guys ever felt that way, that you over decluttered and now you're left in a house that there's things that you wish you would have never got rid of? Double ask yourself on what you're getting rid of, because what you're getting rid of might cost you money a year from now because you might just repurchase that item that you got rid of. And the last thing is constant judgment from others. I dealt with so much judgment from others. There's so many people that have put me down for my lifestyle, so many people that tell me,
you're not gonna be a minimalist once when you have kids.
But in all honesty, no matter what you do in your life, you're always gonna be judged, especially when you're doing something different than others. So if you are vegan or keto, or you just like to wear purple all the time, there's always going to be people judging you and wondering why you are not following the crowd. So being a minimalist, I have gotten judged more than 100 times. And that's just not me counting the online world. Trust me, I have gotten my fair share of hateful, disgusting comments and messages. But I feel like what hurts the most is in the real world, where people are like,
you have nothing in your house. Your life must be so boring.
It's like, no, I actually really like the life that I live. I feel free. I feel like I can breathe. And for me, that's one of the things I hated the most, because I am that type of person to not judge, because everybody is capable and is able to live the life that they want to live. So in my mind, I always thought, like, who the heck are you to judge that person? At least they're doing something with their life. So if you are becoming a minimalist, yes, be expected to get judged. It is a very different lifestyle than your traditional material lifestyle. I know most society likes the Gucci bags, the Louis bags, getting your nails done, your hair done, and having your house filled with stuff from Home Goods. So once when you do become a minimalist and you're not following what other people are doing, you're going to be judged regardless. The best thing you can do to get out of that toxic environment is to do you. Who cares what others think? I was lucky when I did start this lifestyle that I was already like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I lived most of my 20s by someone else's rules, that by the time I turned 25, 26, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do me this time and see if it works out better than what you guys were doing, because clearly it wasn't working for me. So I say that to say this: don't be afraid to get judged. It's going to happen. It's life. Just stay in your own lane, because you're doing what you're supposed to do for yourself. Let those other people figure out what they're supposed to do instead of following the crowd half the time. So there you guys have it. Those are the 3 toxic side of being a minimalist. I feel like no one talks about this. I mean, on the YouTube community, I tried to look for videos like this and I couldn't find not one. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope it doesn't discourage you from becoming a minimalist. I hope it helps you out, and try to stay focused on what's going to benefit you the most. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one driving the car. There's no backseat drivers. There's no one here driving the car to your life but you. So keep that in mind. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed and found this video helpful, and I will catch you in the next video.